Dr. Ahmed, it seems that the main hurdle in the negotiations between the United States and Iran is the nuclear project, that it should be obliterated by Iran, should be abandoned by the Iranian authorities. That is the main demand, one of the main demands according to the United States, as well as the opening of the Strait of Hormuz straight away. But speaking about the nuclear project of Iran, how do you see the future of a deal that could be reached between the United States and Iran as soon as possible, according to the statements of the American president?
I think, given the speed and the very short time that this negotiation is being conducted in, we will probably see an agreement in principle, not necessarily to the final detail, because a deal like this will take a lot of work, and it's probably not possible to achieve that in such a short period of time. Having said that, I think there are several forms that this deal could take place. The first one has to do with the stoppage, the complete stoppage, or the period that the U.S. has asked Iran to stop activating their nuclear plants.
Yes.
Between the U.S., I think, asked for 20, Iran asked for 5. Probably they'll meet in between somewhere 10 or 15 years. So I think that will be a main part or a main axe of this deal. And then that remains the 440 kilograms of activated uranium at 60%, which Iran owns or has under its hand. What doesn't help actually is the conflicting signals that get sent from the American administration when they said that in July 24 this was totally obliterated and totally destroyed, but then they're negotiating on it again today. So if you have already destroyed it, why are you negotiating on it again?
Yes.
So that is sending conflicting signal. Anyway, so there is one proposal to move it to another country. Russia was proposed at a certain stage, or to deliver it to the International Nuclear Power Organization, or atomic, or dilute that quantity of uranium to from 60% level to what would be agreed on as a safe level for civil usages. So these are the three probabilities for this deal. It's very hard to forecast which type or which deal they will have, but I think any of the three or a mix of them would be probably agreed to both sides. And obviously this is one of the or the key issue for discussion in the upcoming negotiations. Having said that, the second or the urgent point is that of the Strait of Hormuz. And I think it will be opened, but for a price or against certain things to be exchanged. President Trump keeps coming up on media or on social media and
Yes.
says it will be opened and what have you. Sure, but against what? There must be a return. I lived in Iran, and even one of my book on negotiations has a full chapter on the Iranian negotiation style.
Yes.
And it's one of the most difficult negotiators you can sit across the table from them. So they will never give you anything for nothing. So he says only the positive side from the, obviously from the U.S. perspective, that they will open the strait. Sure, but against what? I think will probably, and if so, it will be a huge win for Iran. It will be against the removal of the all sanctions, or at least what I know is that the Iranians are asking for this. So we'll see what sort of deal they will have on this axe of the negotiations. But for sure, the Iranians will not give that card for nothing, especially that actually it was not on the table before the war. During the war, they recognized the importance and the weight, not just for the region, but for the global economy and even the US economy, which put a lot of backside pressure on President Trump, because kind of put pressure on him in his own territory or his homeland. So we will see what is being given up against this. But I think, knowing the Iranians, knowing how they negotiate, they will probably not let it go for a cheap price. So they'll ask for something big, which I think will be the removal of the economic sanctions.
We will be seeing in the next few days how the negotiations will be panning out, but we'll be returning to the main topic of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the Egyptian efforts on the diplomatic and the humanitarian fronts, and more specifically for the Egyptian Red Crescent to be receiving patients and their companions from the Palestinian Gaza Strip for treatment, and of course the Zaid al-Izz convoy from Egypt to Gaza carrying tons of humanitarian aid from Egypt to the Strip. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report, so stay tuned.